What is an SDR? As you all know, SDR stands for Sales Development Representative, and I'll call them they are the front line of a sales team. What is the day-to-day role of an SDR outreach? This is the part where the SDR reach out to this potential customers. The SDR role exists because company needs someone to create steady pipeline for the account executive. One of the first things you need to know how to do to become a good SDR is communication, which means that you must know how to communicate effectively. You must be able to relearn, unlearn, and learn. Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Yoluwa Tinoye, and welcome once again. And today we'll be talking about one of the most important things in tech sales and one of the most important roles in tech. This is SDR role, which means Sales Development Representative. And if you're thinking of becoming an SDR or coming into sales tech, this is for you. Basically, we'll be starting with the first question. What is an SDR? As you all know, SDR stands for Sales Development Representative, and I would call them they are the front line of a sales team. And you can think of them as people who start conversation, people that really start conversation with the prospects that then becomes a prospective customers along the line. You can think about them as the ones that open doors for opportunities to be closed or conversations to be converted into a business solution for the customers. And if a business as an heartbeat, the SDR definitely is the role. And the next thing we want to talk about, basically in a very straightforward form, would be what is the day-to-day role of an SDR. And what we talk about here, we're talking about the responsibilities of the SDR, because this is where most people get confused on what is the role of the SDR, how do they go about their day-to-day activities. And one of the first things I'll talk about as far as day-to-day activities of an SDR is prospecting, right? What does prospecting mean? Prospecting mean researching companies and people who would eventually become potential buyers of this buyers of the product. And this is done either through LinkedIn, Salesforce, Zoho, or whatever platform that is needed. The second part would be the outreach. This is the part where the SDR reached out to these potential customers. It could be through making cold calls, it could be through making cold emails, it could be LinkedIn messages, it could be following up on social media platform. This is the goal, basically, is to get that conversation going and to book meetings with this prospective customer. The third part is qualification. What do we mean by qualification? Qualification means that the SDR is able to understand the pain point of this customer and to see if there's a way the currently business solution they have can actually solve this pain point. And the fourth part would be booking meetings. Having done the qualification either through cold call or cold email, you can then now book meetings and say, oh, would it make sense for me to set up some quality time for us to take an overview of how we can solve this problem? And the fifth part of it will be CRM updating, which is going back to the CRM to document all of the conversations and how the conversation has gone so far in terms of the client. So if it is a yes, there's a lot more to be done on the job actually from the SDR point of view, which is preparing for the next stage. Maybe it could be a demo and whatnot. But the next thing we'll talk about is why the company needs SDR. The SDR role exists because company need someone to create steady pipeline for the account executive. Basically, you can think of this like the AE definitely can do the job alone, but the SDR creates like a supporting role to ensure that there's continuous conversation going about the product with the prospective customers. And why the SDR role is important is to actually take a load off the AE from prospecting or spending so much time on prospecting, so they could focus on closing the deal, which then might include negotiation and whatnot. So this part of the role just ensures that conversations are started, qualified, and the leads are passed to the AE to continue. And what are the skills that are needed to become a good SDR? One of the first things you need to know how to do to become a good SDR is communication, which means that you must know how to communicate effectively. That means you must be able to pass across messages so that your prospective clients can understand, first of all, what is important on your product and how your product solves their problem. Second part of it is resilience, which means that you must get accustomed to hearing no so much to the fact that it becomes a normal thing to you. It doesn't stop you from moving, it doesn't stop you from doing what you have to do, what you have to do, which is basically you must know how to navigate objections. Even when you get a no, you find a way to make a yes. Curiosity is the third part. You must be curious. So first of all, want to understand the customer and understand their pain points, and curiosity will enable you to ask the right question. And the fourth part is organization, organizing all of the things you need to do in a particular CRM so you can follow up effectively. The fifth part of it is coachability. You must be coachable. You must be coachable. You must be able to relearn, unlearn, and learn. And why this important for a great entry into this tech sales role? Because first of all, it's one of the highest paying jobs in tech roles, right? Because organization always, like I said, it is important for organizations to always have an SDR, right? And for some role, as I've said in my previous video, for some role, an SDR can earn as high as $40,000 to $60,000, even way higher depending on the location. But if you're based in Nigeria, like I am, you have opportunity to earn as high as $60,000. And what are the roles that are open for an SDR? Once you're leaving the SDR, what other things can you do? Right, this is you can become an account manager, you can also become an account executive, and those roles will of course open you up to funds or salary as high as 120,000, like I said in my previous video. And this basically is just in a short from what an SDR is responsible for and how you can become a great SDR. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think you need, basically you think you know right now that can actually prepare you for that role, for that SDR role, or what do you think it's important for you to know to become a good SDR? However, in my upcoming videos, I'll be going in depth on how you can actually land a job as an SDR. Of course, going into the nitty gritty of prospecting, of reaching out, cold calls, cold emails, and how that can actually be structured to ensure that you get the right thing. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos. See you in my next videos. Cheers.